Oh, we are back. Oh my god, and guess what, guys? Tracker, his microphone problem is resolved.
Oh yeah, that's the reverse of oh no. Yes, I'm
Yes.
back.
Oh
I'm back
yes.
home. I'm on my AT&T fiber optic connection with 1,000 megabits up and down, and yeah, on my new laptop that I got for like super cheap. It was like a Christmas Amazon Prime special. So wow, I'm so
Yeah.
glad. I'm sorry I missed last night's show. I was still traveling. I was still flying, so I didn't get to. But I heard the show went really well. Lots of jokes. Hopefully, some made it my expense. And oh yes, as DNW.
Oh yes.
No, it sounds like
Yes.
you and Kat had a really good time last night.
Yeah. It was short and sweet, an hour long.
Cool.
So not too shabby. A Christmas miracle.
That sounds like
Uh,
the title of the next Hallmark movie.
I think it has been a movie before.
Not
It
too
sounds
shabby.
familiar.
Christmas
Yeah.
miracle.
All right, well, let's kick it off with the IWM here. I just wanted to show you guys that the weekly support was hit, right? Even though it went down below the 886, it just went down to the conversion line and nailed it. And it's bouncing a little bit pre-market. So that's your support, 231.18. That is the target to hold. And then let's see if this week can actually get back above the 233.20, or even better yet, get back above this 235.02. So we'll see. But it looks like support has been found. Let's see. Just focus on that 231.18 for the rest of the week, just to stay above to close out nicely. And then we got QQQ still continuing a little bit higher. I think the target could be 548 before any kind of retrace. And SPY still just flatlining near all-time highs. We can see on the weekly chart it is basically over extended a little bit. The 588.48 is your conversion line down there. So if IWM can go back and back test it, it's possible for SPY to do it as well. And the daily chart is showing me there is some daily loss of momentum yesterday, but look at what's happening pre-market. It is trying to get back above that 605.60 conversion line. So it's just kind of going back and forth, like a little washing machine. So don't get washed out with it. Just hold on, because things are bullish, and I think you'll enjoy the ride if you stick around.
Oh my gosh, I love that Mattsbyism. Back and forth like a washing machine. Don't get washed out.
Don't get washed out, guys.
Oh no! Don't get washed out.
Well, I think the people are talking about Nvidia and also Tesla. So we can go into Nvidia first, since people freaked out yesterday, but not me. I was doing buying. People in my Patreon tier 5 were doing lots of buying of the NVDL. And the reason is because it looks juicy and nice, right? It looks like it was a perfect back test of this previous resistance zone right here in the 129, even a wick down below into the 127s. If you look on the daily chart as well, we can put on some Ichimoku there. And all it did is go back down to the 100-day moving average, which was a perfect support level. And now it's rebounding nicely. And so where is resistance now? Well, it's around, you can see current price. If you just drew a line right here, you can see this is kind of a previous support zone, right? Previous resistance, previous support. So around current price could be some resistance pre-market, right? 133.84 all the way up to maybe 136 to 139 to 140. So this zone, if you bought down here, maybe it's a good idea to take some off just for a trade, because it's not guaranteed to break through all of this the first time. It could just do something like maybe boom, go back down to 134, then do something like this, and then finally break out. So I think people that are waiting for it to explode to the 150s, I don't think it's ready yet. It lost some daily momentum here, but it was a perfect support hit. And I think the chance to go towards the top of the cloud is there. Just got to have some patience. And to get back to 152 and above, that's probably going to take until early next year. Oh, no. Cantonese Cat's in the chat. He says, I still worry about dog. He still worries about dog COVID getting real rough. You missed that joke. I think it was done by one of our followers. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, cats wouldn't be worried about dog COVID.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
have a
get
dog to get together.
those dogs. They can get annoying. Those dog
Yeah,
covies,
you were really
especially.
patient for that Nvidia drop. Like you didn't buy. There were a couple drops you could have bought, but you didn't. You
Yeah,
waited, and that's your setup.
yeah. I
And
was
so,
watching this one for weeks in my Telegram. I was like, no, not yet, not yet, not yet. And then this week happened. I'm like, yes, this is it. It's go time. For the past 2 days in a row, I was buying. Actually, I bought at like 63 on Monday, and yesterday I bought below 61 or 62, 61. And then I had some people in my Patreon that bought below 60 even. They got like the 59 on the NVDL. That was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
cool. If you just for some confluences, I'll show my Nvidia chart. It's the same chart that I've been showing for the last couple of weeks, but just so people can still see that from the low that we just hit, which was right here. No, that's the daily chart. I gotta go to the 8-hour chart. Oh, still that one. It was intraday low. Yeah, 182.63 is still my target. It could possibly extend to 195.27. And as far as timing goes, I mean, if you look at how Matt's just kind of goes sideways in the Ichimoku cloud, we might get, I would love to see definitely a higher high than 145.95 here. Maybe even a new higher high than the wave 3 top here, which was 152.88, for like a crazy 20% melt up into the end of the year. And then the whole thing just falls over again, for the January, February, April slump. But then it starts to pull back out in April, May, June. The peak in maybe 182.63 is what we hit in July. If we get a nice another July rally this year. So that's it. Nvidia, if you're long-term holding, you're doing great. Just keep holding it. Buy some more, in fact. And if you're trying to swing it, then just look for an exit near the top of the end of this year, top of next year for your swing. All right, that's Nvidia.
Tesla.
I did this yeah, let me just show my thing real quick, and then we'll do you can do yours. So I've been finding that the derivative has been really helpful in kind of getting out some of the noise on stocks like Tesla. So the TSLL 2X bullish ETF gave me some clarity as to, I thought that maybe it would top out here at 39.64 for this 223.6% fib extension. And indeed, we saw it topped out there on Tuesday, December 17th. And then it kind of wicked a little higher and then kind of played with being on top of it, but then lost it again. Couldn't hold it as support at 39.64 yesterday, but maybe we get back over today. And it is possible still for it to extend to this 261.8% fib higher, maybe into the end of the year. And so if that happens, yeah, 45.58 would be the top target, and then some consolidation. And I did a little pre-show. I think I'm kind of leaning into this idea that maybe we get a high B, and then the C doesn't go to the 61.8. Maybe it just comes down here to 3103, which in Tesla price, and I would sort of be like, after the January sell-off, and then into March or maybe April low, and then Tesla would do something very similar, except instead of 382.65, maybe it stays above 400. So maybe it gets a high B, and then stops, does a 50% retrace to 407.35. That's it. And again, that would be like maybe into March, April again of 2025. There. That's my Tesla predictions, and then of course the whole thing just keeps going higher. After whatever the next low is, it just keeps launching higher. My hasn't hit my big target. My big target is the 195.07%. Yeah, 07% extension from the wave start down here, which is this wave start right here, which takes us to 195.07 is right Covered it up. Where did you go? Sorry, wait. I think it's on it. Did I accidentally delete it? That's so frustrating. Well, sorry. It's 7:10:59. This is it right here. I'm expecting 7:10:59. It would be the equivalent of from the 2021 to 2022 all-time high here, from the 138.80 low to 7:10:59, and then maybe we see some sort of consolidation sideways again for a little bit while it tries to suss out where the support's going to be before moving even higher. And this is just the one hypothetical way it could keep going to 1284. Matt's got charts that go to 2,000, 8,000, and then beyond. So, with that said, Matt, back to you.
$1 million.
$1 million on my pinky.
Yeah, so Tesla, I'm gonna do the TSLL first just because I think the possibility to go back test this angle does exist, and that's around 35.50. So what does a 35.50 equate to? Maybe like a 450-ish Tesla, right? And we saw this yesterday with TSLA. So I'll go to the Tesla chart. And we saw on the daily chart yesterday that it did, in fact, wick exactly back below the 458. So it went to 457.51. And that is kind of showing that perhaps maybe this wants to be a support and not a resistance. So I think we might have another opportunity to go down there to keep retesting it, maybe try to build a base, right? Maybe cool off just a little bit because it is getting a little bit overextended on weekly and daily and every kind of chart, monthly charts too. So just be patient with Tesla here. Don't expect it to go to 500 immediately unless it can break this 4-hour level right here. I do show this to you guys. I usually save my 4-hour charts for my Patreon, but I'm going to show you this. Look at what happened yesterday. This 4-hour level, indeed, this level back here, the blue level, was a resistance. And what do you see? Oh, yes, the next level is a resistance. And it did try to go up once, but the next candle closed right below it, the next 4-hour candle. So what does that mean? That means it's spending more time underneath this level. And what is that level exactly? It is 474.30. So there we go. That's our number to start closing 4-hour candles above. You heard it here first. So if you see 4-hour candles close above that 474.30 level, then guess what? It can probably start to go higher. But if it stays underneath there every 4-hour candle, then the possibility to come back down to maybe these lows, possibly even retest this arc below in the 447 for a wick, like a liquidity grab down there, becomes possible. So this is, I think, is the new range right now, 447 all the way up to 474. So that's the new range for me. And I think I would even re-enter some TSLL if price went down below 450 once again. So beautiful chart. Just don't chase. That's what I said yesterday. Don't chase. So still don't chase. There's no point. Let price come to you, right? And there still is a possibility to retest this 458, even wick below it over and over again before it wants to go higher.
Yes, indeed. Dogs chase, cats wait for their prey. Be a cat. Be like Matt and Cat.
Yes, the Matt and the Cat. Yeah, there's always going to be opportunity, and you don't have to always fixate on one specific stock because there's opportunities everywhere.
I kind of feel like, should we do Bitcoin real quick? I know it's kind of boring.
No, I'll do Bitcoin. So here we go. I'll pull it up on my chart, and I'll do daily chart just to show you what's really going on here with the Bitcoin. And what do we see? Well, it's another perfect back test of the 103.611. So we saw that it broke out on Sunday, back tested on Monday, broke out yesterday, back tested overnight, 103.173. So this is proven to me that maybe this 1.272 does want to be my new support level. And I think it has potential to build a base on top and then go higher. So For people fear mongering that it's going to start to collapse below 100, this chart currently doesn't say it. So I don't try to anticipate those bearish calls until the chart proves it to me. So until there's a daily candle that closes below this 103,611, then I'm not going to assume it wants to go lower. I'm just going to assume it's going to keep building a base. So far, so good for Bitcoin, and it's now almost 105 again. So just let it build a base, let it do what it's going to do. And I think if it continues to be support, what comes next? You guessed it, 128 up top. And do you think MSTR and Coinbase are going to just stay flat if it goes to 128? I don't think so.
Woohoo!
All right, go ahead, Tracker.
Let's see, my Bitcoin. I did this in my little pre-show this morning too. Basically, why do I have so many? All right. Yeah, I've got kind of like this WXY XZ pattern going on here. That this 161.8% fib would bring it up to 112,000 almost, 111,962. And then maybe it'll, like this could be like it just came. Here's Matt's 103. It touched it. So maybe this becomes the next wave sub. It's like a wave 3 top, then a wave 4, and then my wave 5 takes it to 120.067. The sub 5. That's what I'm looking for next. Got this 118. Yeah, probably 120.067. I'm going to delete this 118. And then, I think it could possibly consolidate. Maybe it won't, but, maybe it retests 76.4. Here, let me just walk through the fibs. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place here. After making a 1-2 here, I was looking for it to go to the 764, but it kind of got stuck at the 618. And then it went really deep, but ended up getting support off the 23.6, which was at 93.8, which is why I'm predicting 123.6, which it got. You know what? I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm lost in a sea of. This was like the 4 and then the 5, but then all that's 3 and then the 4 and then 5. A long way to just tell you, I think it's going to 120,000. And then let's see, MicroStrategy. All right, my MicroStrategy. Oh, this is the wrong chart. Yeah, the MicroStrategy is like really cool. Like Matt said, like remember when we almost hit $100,000? It stopped at 99,800, and MicroStrategy the crowd went wild and took it to an all-time high 548.20, and then it was a quick retrace, a really quick retrace, really hard, and then when we made over 100,000, it only got this high. So once they can prove that 103 is like the new level of support. And here we touched 104,000 right here. Yeah, I think a few more $1,000 higher, and we're going to break out of this little triangle here. And my next target for MicroStrategy, of course, there'll be 5 waves up here, but it's a 750.53. So maybe that's where MicroStrategy. Maybe when Bitcoin hits 120,000, you'll get to 750.53. And so MSTX, I like it. And I'm going to have to start doing a smaller degree chart for this as well. But yeah, it looks like it kind of wants, it's fainting like it wants to come back and touch the bottom of this triangle trend here. But also, look, it stopped yesterday or this morning in pre-market right at this 8-hour moving average 75 here again. So maybe that's all the low it gets. And, we had our hammock yesterday. Like Monday was bullish. And then Wednesday we're expecting to be bullish, but in the middle is Tuesday where things just like drop and test supports while we're waiting for the Fed announcement. So, yeah, I'm looking for this to break out soon, and my target next for MSTX is still $235.97. So that is a huge upswing, which is why I'm so excited about getting back into it. I bought some more. I sold it at the top Monday, and then tried to rebuy it yesterday morning. It was a little bit too early. I could have waited till the end of the day to buy it instead, but I'm not worried. So that's a 170% move higher. But I'm not sure about the timing. It might take until Bitcoin reaches 120,000. We'll see. That's it. That's my MSTX. Oh, hey Matt, I had a bunch of questions from users about why do you like MSTU better than MSTX?
I just started using it first. It's no preference really. They
Yeah,
both the charts, they look similar to me, so it's okay.
I did a comparison, and it seemed like MSTX just edged out MSTU's performance by just a little bit on the bullish side, and then of course it lost a little bit on the bearish side. So, like, in other words, when it's going in a big uptrend, MSTX outperformed MSTU by about 20%, and then but when it fell and did a sideways downtrend, MSTX lost 3% more than MSTU did over that same period of time. That would make
Yeah.
more sense with a chart, wouldn't it? But
I'll just do MSTR real quick just to see.
yeah, please
So
do.
it started to close daily candles back below the conversion line baseline. You even had a cross of the conversion line underneath the baseline, which is not a bullish cross right there. But what this really implies to me is just going to be more time. So what was support, like the 400 zone, is now going to be likely some resistance. But what I can see day over day is maybe it's just waiting for enough time to get closer to the cloud before really ultimately trying to go higher. And with Bitcoin back testing the 103 over again, I can see Bitcoin just building a base while MicroStrategy just continues to go sideways for a bit. But still, it's making higher lows, right? On the daily chart, you can see that. So even if it went back down to like the 360s or so, it still would be a higher low, right? Still part of the process of building
Mm-hmm.
this base on top of that level. And I think it's just always a patience game, right? When things break out massively and then they back test levels, they don't always rebound immediately. So just got to be patient with it. Maybe wait till it gets closer to the daily cloud. That could be later in December, right? This could be like December 27th, right? Right here, maybe the 30th. So just more patience with MSTR and Bitcoin. I think it's ready to go higher eventually, but maybe not in the next couple of weeks.
All right, I've got a request from Shlomi for Sofi, and he called me out specifically. So here's my Sofi chart. And I can see why he called me out, because I wasn't bullish enough, apparently. I was expecting after the 618 50%, I was looking for 1382 and one. I thought it would just continue or no, this is like a 764 right there. I thought it would continue the 764 pattern to the 1382, but look, it went even a little higher and now seems to have found support at that 1382. So I will move this up to, maybe 1618. So maybe this can get to 1802 next. But in order to do that, it does have to get past, it's got to get higher than what already did once. It's got to get back over 1720 again, which is this 150% fib right here. So if we can get over $17.20 again, then 1802 is next. Then typically after 1618, this could still retrace all the way back to 100% at 1347, but maybe this buy block, order block here, is indicating that it really wants to find support at 1523, and then the 2236, or should I go the 2618? Let's go to the 2618. I'll be less stingy with it, since if it can get to 1802, the 2554 is where I would expect to see SoFi go next, after finding support at 1523. So this is my SoFi chart so far. And look, it's also doing it. a Tesla thing, right? It was a long consolidation period and it's breaking out. And then also on this side, it's doing a retrace. It's sort of retracing back towards 100%. Its all-time high of 28.26. Yeah. And look, this 2618, 2554 is almost dead on with an 88.2% retrace level. 618. Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy because usually 76.4. You know what? Now that I say that, just be cautious because it actually really could top out at the 76.4 level at 2262. All right, so if it gets higher than 2262, then if you go to 2554. Otherwise, that's probably where your resistance is more likely to be because of that 76.4 retrace. All right, back to you, Matt.
Well, there's a request for DXYZ, and I know that's your baby too. So, and IonQ. I mean, you can give a twofer really quickly.
Sure, absolutely. These are ones that I'm really excited about. I'm in love with DXYZ. I think I want to marry it. I'll just have to be a polygamist or whatever. But DXYZ is got that SpaceX flavor in it, and yeah, it finished its wave 3 at a really sharp wave 4. So the wave 2 is short. This could take a little longer to go sideways, but it doesn't have to. I mean, it already kind of has so far. So it's just on its way to either 114.54 for the 23.6% fib extension, or possibly this 261.8 for 129.57. So my target is this gray box between the two. And it's just making, inside of this fifth wave, it's subdivided into 5 impulsive waves as well. And we're just kind of trying to finish off the second wave here to go into the strongest part of the heart of the third wave of this fifth wave. So this fourth wave will probably look really scary, but it'll be really sharp again because this wave 2 is longer. This wave 4 should be pretty sharp and terrifying. The point of the wave 4, I don't talk about this very much, but the point of the wave 4 is to make you think that the wave 3 was wave 5 and the whole thing's going to retrace. That's why it gets so scary. But it's also just to shake the tree and shake all the paper hands out and all the over-leveraged people. And then you get the real wave 5, and then everyone dumps back in with over-leveraging again, trying to chase this top. But yeah, DXYZ to either 114.54 or maybe even almost $130, which is a 73% improvement from where price is right now to the 114.54, or almost 96% to 129.57. All right, and then the other one was IonQ. Yeah, IonQ is also in its wave 5 melt-up cycle. This looks like that was the wave 3 right there. So it's here's your one. The 1 was sharp up, the 2 is sharp down. It's really nice to get wicks for the 1 and 2. There's all wave 3. Really? No. You know what? I take that back. This is your wave 3. Interesting. IonQ could. Oh, I did, and I told all my subscribers yesterday my IonQ sell order fired, so I sold into this resistance up here. I had like a good till canceled order. So yeah, look for IonQ to test back to maybe as low as 37.34. That would give it about a fibs level between this subwave 1 top and this wave 4 bottom. Yeah, just right about 37.34. Just start buying. You can DC if you really like IonQ like I do. You can start buying it again as it enters this green box from 38.81 down to 37, and then it eventually goes to 47.57 for my 223.6% fib extension. Means there's a possibility it could extend a little higher, but that should pretty much hold because the large UV wave went to 123.764, 223. Yeah. So my target's still $47.57, but it's going to get a little bit more wave 4 here, retrace before it goes higher. And I'll let you guys, if you're subscribing to me, I'll let you know when I buy this stuff back in. So I do need to make a little alert here. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I see some crypto with requests there, so I'll get to that. But first, I want to show EOS because I guess they announced a large order, and it's up pre-market to 425. And I
Nice.
think basically 442 is the next fib, and you got the 200-week moving average up there at 485. And what we see now with EOS is it's approaching resistance. So I loved it down here. I bought that baseline down there, right down there, that little juicy back test. And I wrote it all the way up here. And so if I bought at 216 and sell at 442, that's more than a double, right? So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I don't really need to ride it any further. It's fine. It can go higher, but I think this 442 is going to be my target to take profits. So that has been an enjoyable ride for me and some of my Patreon subscribers. So this is a good news, right? But it is approaching resistance, so now is not the time to get excited. It's the time for me to take profit.
Take profit. Hey, I got to show my USC chart now that you said that, because I've got Confluence. My 76.4% fib extension is right at $4.39. So I would be selling into 70 to that, and then looking to buy back at the 38.2% retrace at 323. Or if they can keep it, if it's super bullish, maybe it only gets back as low as 359, but somewhere between 359 and 323, buy back in. Then it goes to 628, back to 511, and then up to $9.33 in perhaps as soon as 172 days. Maybe even sooner now with that lookup. I don't know. Wave 2. But go ahead and take your screen. Oops. Go take your screenshot there if you want. This is me finishing off this wave 5 with the subwave 5. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. All right, don't chase. Just wait for support testing. Buy back in.
Exactly. All right, now
back to you.
I'm gonna do some crypto. I see Ondo, I see Link. I'll just do a couple of those before. So let me switch. So first I got Ondo here, and Ondo broke out above GAN level, or GAN arc, I should say. So you know how I love things when they break above GAN arcs. Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you know how I love when they break above. So there we go. It could back test maybe around 165, a little bit lower, who knows. But if this is the new trend where it builds a base on top of this arc, then boom, it can go much higher. It can go to $6. It can go to $8. So it looks really good, right? Really bullish chart. I think what I'm liking the most is how it recovered all of this zone. I was kind of expecting it to test this arc, but it never did. But yeah, it's back above the blue level, back above the blue arc. So just build a base on top, and I think $8 can be possible for Ondo in the future. And Link will go to this chart here, and we can see that it's essentially getting rejected by the top arc. So it's kind of not the same situation as Ondo. And then you got the 786 right there at 3165. So it's at a major resistance zone. So I don't expect it to break free quite yet. So what I can see with this chart is something like this. Come back down to $25, maybe come back up to the arc, maybe just stay in this little triangle for a while before it really tries to break towards the 786, the 3165, and then go higher towards all-time highs after that. So I think just a little bit more ranging for the time being. I think that's just the case for a lot of crypto right now, just more ranging until ready to break out. And that's understandable when you see a massive move like this, right? You see a massive move up, and the majority of crypto out there, when you see this massive move, they're not going lower, right? They're building a base at a higher level, and this is a super bullish development for the future. We just don't know how many weeks that's going to take. Sometimes it can be a couple, sometimes it can be a couple months. So just got to be patient before it really tries to break higher. And with that, I do see ADA. ADA sticking with the crypto theme here. ADA, it's looking like it's a breakout. It's a back test of the ARC right there. So I'm kind of expecting to go a little bit lower to the 89, but maybe it won't. Maybe it's like 90 right down here, 96 cents, like going back down to where these wicks are. Might be possible. But the goal is to maybe just try to flip this bottom blue arc to a support and then just try to range for a little bit before trying to break higher. So this is all a support zone from current price all the way down to 88 cents right here, even a little bit lower down to 82. This is all support for building a base to eventually go higher. So all these charts are looking the same. They broke out massively. They're not retracing. Everybody's expecting to retrace and it's not happening. So what they're doing is just building a base at higher levels, getting ready to go higher. So this is really bullish for altcoins. And I saw a comment up there about move forward, you will have to be selective with your altcoins. I mean, not really. I think what we're seeing is even with the meme coins that somebody mentioned there too, like you can look at a Pepe. It's doing the same thing. It broke out massively. It's building a base at a higher level. They're all doing it, right? They're all doing it. Even SHIB, it broke out pretty massively. Now it's building a base basically near on top of the cloud. So you don't really need to be that selective, I think, because a lot of things they are proving that they want to go higher regardless of narrative. So just focus on the individual charts. You don't have to focus on a certain name that's being selective out there, in my opinion, because the charts tell the true story. And most of the charts, they look like this. They broke out massively and they're not retracing. So if they're not retracing, that means they're most likely going to go higher. So with that said, actually, I got one more Ethereum, and then I'll let you do one more before we go, Tracker.
Okay.
As usual, so get ready for your one.
I'm ready. I've got Rocket Lab on tap.
Okay. So last one for me for Ethereum, it's stuck at the 886, 4006, boom, 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 resistance. It was resistance in the past. So again, broke out massively. It doesn't really want to retrace. It could retrace down to 33, 3400, but I don't know if it will. I think it keeps going to try to break this resistance. And when it does, it's going to go to all-time highs. So just be patient with Ethereum and it will be more and more bullish as well. So next for you, Tracker.
Right. Here's my Rocket Lab chart. Basically, you can just take a screenshot of it. It is in its third wave. It's in the heart of the third wave now of its larger degree. Well, no, this is basically the whole thing, right, from the beginning of time. I see it topping out at $60.08 on the way there. It's going from here to $41.71 next, back to $34.69, and then $60.08. And that's all there is to it. Rocket Lab, I like it. I've got a position in it.
Yeah, it looks like it wants to go higher.
Yeah, and as far as the question was about timing, I think if it follows this hyperbolic arc, it could be as crazy as it sounds. It could be as soon as 24 days. But the thing is that they can always make these wave twos last longer than you think that they should, or maybe the wave four. But if it just keeps going the way it's going right now, so maybe I should follow this moving average 75 more. But somewhere between 24 days and 36 days seems to be the plan for Rocket Lab, as far as I can tell. All right, that's it.
That's it for today. Yes, we'll same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow morning.
Yes, indeed. I'm looking forward to it. All right,
Are you nervous about? Are you nervous about the FOMC today? Are you nervous, Tracker?
No, I'm never nervous of those things.
Yeah,
it's another dog and pony show. The market's going to do what it's going to do. All they ever do is they slow down price action by having these scheduled announcements.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly that.
All right. Thanks for watching, Cat. It was fun to have a cat joke dropped in there. Dog COVID.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Good trading day.
You too, Matt.